Good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to the Life's Good. And what a glorious day again. Thursday 21st of May. I've not long finished work, just popped in, got changed and felt like relaxing in the garden for a little while. We've had quite a few happenings in the garden. Take a quick look at this next clip and see what happened this morning. Just nipped out to check everything before I head off to work. Everything seems to be okay, and a little movement caught my eye and I did a double take. Now I'm not sure if you can see from here, guys, but if I move in, I have a little visitor. Good morning. I did actually notice this chap yesterday. He was sitting around by the greenhouse door and Mum and Dad were feeding him, or her, as the case may be. That is a baby blackbird. Bless. He's gone behind the butt. That little baby blackbird has been sitting around here for 2 days, and Mum and Dad have been nipping in and out, feeding him. Just so nice to see. I put a bird box up on the end of the shed there. I haven't seen any activity in that one, but we've definitely had activity in the one next to the decking of the top garden, and I've managed to get a little bit of footage of the blue tits in and out of that one. So really nice. Birds in the garden. I know sometimes you don't want birds, especially the pigeons. They tend to remove things, but seeing those in here this morning is amazing. Actually, I'll just see if I can just get behind there, because he's tucked himself in there, guys. Here he is. You're quite happy in there, are you? Bless. Well, we'll leave him. Whoops, I'm tripping over the watering can, guys. I'm so excited about the bird, I forgot about the watering can. I just thought I'd show you that while I was out here. So we've got blue tits nesting, we've got baby blackbirds, all manner of things in and around our garden. Well, I hope you like that, guys. That little baby blackbird has been hiding out in various locations in the garden, and I've just spotted it actually behind the pond. It's sitting there sheltered, and Mum and Dad keep popping in and giving it food. So they're aware of where he's hiding, or she. I think it's a female actually. I think it's a baby girl. It's hanging around the garden, not quite able to fly very far. But as long as the parents know where it is, I'm sure it'll be okay. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you know what happens. And the other thing was the blue tits in the box next to our decking. I managed to get a little bit of film of those popping in and out, feeding young, I imagine, because both of the adults are in and out of that box with all sorts of tidbits. So I'm assuming there are babies in there, and they're in and out all day long feeding those, and we look forward to seeing what happens with those. Now in the garden we do like to attract wildlife, and we provide habitats for certain things, and some of the plants we grow are with a view to attracting pollinating insects into the garden, and all manner of other things. We've got little log piles set up. There's one just before you get to the pond. There's one there, I'll show you in a moment. We've got a pile of old logs. We just sort of set them up in a little heap, put some compost around them, planted some plants in amongst them, and just left them to rot. And we've noticed from there we get all sorts of things. We get toads, we get the occasional frog. There's all sorts of beetles and bugs living in and around that area. So by doing that, we've provided a little habitat for some very interesting wildlife. We've also built a little bug hotel, and again I'll show you that in a moment as we wander around. So all in all, it's nice when you sit out here in amongst your flowers and your shrubs, and you're having a little relax and a beer, homemade beer at that, actually, a pint of my home brew. Cheers everybody. Yeah, I like to sit here and think about what's happening in the garden and what needs to be done, make plans, reflect on things, what works, what doesn't, and just take time to relax and unwind and take in the beauty of everything. I think it's important. It's so easy to spend all your time hoeing and digging and forking over and weeding and pruning and doing all the things that we gardeners do. But how often do we actually just sit and look at it and just enjoy it for what it is? It's just nice, especially on a day like this. Beer in hand, sitting on my decking, watching the blue tits over your shoulder, actually, and the other things going on in the garden. So I'll take you around and show you a few things that we have done in the garden to try and attract the wildlife in. I'm standing on the deck looking towards the plum tree. You can see we've got a few bird feeders hanging in this one. We get quite a few birds in. We put out the fat balls and mixed seed. There's a little ornamental bath there, but they tend not to use that. They tend to go over to the pond and drink and bathe in and around there. But the reason I came over here is behind this little shrub here. If we look over the top, you can see I put in a little bug box or a bug hotel. All sorts of tubes, bits of bamboo, plastic tubes, and some blocks with holes drilled in. And very often come across and have a look, and you'd be surprised what makes its home in there. We've had lacewings and earwigs and ladybirds and all manner of little bugs using that to overwinter and reproduce and use that little hotel as their bug refuge. It works very, very well. Designed like a little bird box, but instead of putting a front on it, I just filled it up with all the little sticks, or the bamboo sticks with all the holes in, so that the bugs can use those to enter and do their thing. The other thing I was talking about was the wood piles. Now, looking across the other way, that over there, guys, is my camellia. There's a sweet box there, a bleeding heart to the side, a few other bits and pieces. But if we drift in towards the corner here, and you can see the waterfall on the right, we've got some lovely tulips here, and there's some ferns growing. And if you look down in here, you'll see that this is actually a pile of logs. Some old logs in here, piled up. You can see the one over the back there. There's several of them. We just put them into position, put some compost around them. Cheryl planted the ferns in here, and it's been settled for a few years now. But if we look carefully in here, we sometimes find all manner of wildlife hiding in here. And if you heard that little cheep, that was actually the baby blackbird, who is hiding behind this fern at the moment, calling out for its parents. I'd probably be hard pushed to get a picture of it, but he's definitely in there, guys. You'll hear him chirping in a minute. Oh, he's gone in the far corner. I'll just go around there, because along here you'll see that we've incorporated various logs. Now, these actually came from my friend Nick. He had a tree which he took down in the back of his garden, and asked if I wanted the logs. Primarily I was thinking of putting them on our chimney, on our fire pit sort of thing, but I decided I'd incorporate them into the garden, and we've planted them all around here. Well, sorry, we haven't planted them, we've placed them and grown plants amongst them. Now, this is relatively new, so they will take a while to weather and start to break down. But this, again, will provide a lovely habitat for all manner of creatures. As I said, we've already seen toads and frogs, and we do have wood mice come in now and again. And of course all the birds. I was messing around with the bird feeders yesterday, and I left this one sitting on the bench. I was fully intending hanging it up somewhere. And what's happened, of course, is all the birds have been in here and pecking away at the seed on this little feeder, so I might leave it there for a while. There was a pair of pigeons on there this morning. We've got another little water feature in the corner. This one, it doesn't seem to be working very well at the moment. It might need a bit of a clean out. But again, the birds use it as a little drinking spot. So I need to look at that to see why that's not actually flowing. So there's a lot of things you can do to attract the wildlife into your garden. As I said, the bug box, the wood piles, different plants, different shrubs. And then when I come out and I sit in my little relaxing chair and I enjoy my pint of beer, everything's happening around me. Now I'm just going to lift you up here, because this over here, if I can get in close guys, this is the nest box with the blue tits in. And as I said, I've got some footage of the blue tits in and out of there. And when I'm sitting on the deck, they don't mind me. They still carry on in and out, oblivious to the fact that I'm around. So there we go, a little tour of the upper garden. We sometimes refer to this as the West Terrace, guys. Can't imagine why, sounds a bit posh. But the West Terrace woodland garden, complete with pond and water feature. Would look good in a brochure, I think. Well, thanks for popping in, guys. It's lovely seeing you again. Just a quickie, just to share some things that are happening here with you guys. Not much in the way of sowing and growing today, but just a chance to say, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your gardens while you can. Enjoy the weather while you can. Just take some time out, relax, and just take it all in. We'll see you next time, and no doubt I'll have plenty to do, plenty of things to show you, and it'll be all systems go down on the plot and anything else that needs doing. Take care of yourself, guys. Come back and see us soon. Oh, don't forget, you got to subscribe. Now I'm going to put my beard down because I always get this wrong. It's in that corner there. No, it's not. It's in that one. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye bye now. Well, I don't know how difficult it is to understand on which side of the screen that stupid little red button is located. Honestly, guys, it cannot be that hard, surely. It's in that corner. It is. I promise you. It's in that corner. Hit that bloody button. Please.